So welcome everyone to the Global Symphony Day and our very first exploration, which is called Everything is Energy and You Know It. And I wanted to start by talking about how I didn't know it. So I spent most of my life not being very aware of energies, not particularly unaware, just it wasn't important. It wasn't something that I looked at or had even started to explore. I had the point of view that my mind was the most important part. My brain and everything I could think and thought and figure out was the most important part of me. Sorry, I'm shutting down what pings of me, of my life, of what I could create in the world. And I think a lot of us have had that experience, and it created so much on its own. And it still kept me within what I would say like a very small space. And I started to explore it in so many different ways. I started to try a lot of different modalities and a lot of different kind of energy work. And then I came across access consciousness, which is the modality that the Symphony of Possibilities have developed from. And I met Dr. Dane here, who is the person who has come up with this, who has developed the Symphony of Possibilities modality. And I had a session with him. It was many years ago now. I think it's like 15 years ago. And that session was so different from anything I've ever had experienced. It was a session that showed me energies that I didn't even know existed and that went beyond all the thinking, all the figuring out, all the computation, all of that. It just blew all that away. I couldn't compute what was going on. And I had a whole different sense of the world. It was, in a way, it was like I had function in an autonomy. I'd function in an autonomy that made me feel like I was living life right. I felt like, I started to check all the different points off in my life that I should have a man and a child and a job, all of that. And I was functioning from a basis of this is what life is. This is all there is. And that's what I get. And once I had that session, and I think these kind of sessions or transforming experience can look in many different ways. But once I had experienced this so different from the basis that I was functioning from, so different from the autonomy where I felt comfortable and right, I couldn't go back. And I started to experience how everything was energy, not necessarily in that explosive form, but everything around me, every interaction I had was energy. And if you look at it, you know this too. And that's what I wanted us to explore today. So first of all, I looked into like, if you really look at where we live, this planet that we live on, it really is basically a web of vibrational energetic frequencies. The whole ecosystem is like an energy network where, flora, fauna, humans, animals, we all interact through energy exchanges. We just don't really go to that level when we learn about it. I mean, you have the whole, like inside the earth, you have the whole, sorry, I don't know why I'm just gonna, now you all disappeared. Oh, there you are, you're back. Inside the earth, you have like volcanic activity, and that volcanic activity is this enormous kinetic energy that actually shapes all of Earth. And then you have the movement of water, like the oceans, the gravitational energy that comes from the sun and the moon, which literally carries energy that can heat up or run our whole cities. You have energy in the winds, in the storms, in the thunderstorms, in lightning. All of that is energy. Earth generates a magnetic field that interacts with the solar winds. So do we. Each of us, each little human that walk on the planet, each of us have an electromagnetic field. Our heart produces, and our heart and brain produces electricity all the time. So we are vibrational frequencies moving around on Earth, interacting with the magnetic vibrational frequencies of everything else moving on this Earth. And if you really look at that, like our bodies are basically slow down energy into a physical form. They solidified enough to create this body, although it is continuously shifting and changing, right? You're not born with this body. When I was born, my body looked different. So they are continuously changing, growing, changing, developing in different ways. But so is everything on Earth. It is energetically moving, shifting, changing, transforming. Just tap into that for a moment. The Earth is continuously transforming. The continents move, the oceans move. Yes, the ices melt, but everything is transforming, moving. The energy is always moving, and we're moving with it. It's not solid. It just keeps shifting and changing. It's malleable. Its energy's moving. I think it was Tesla that said that everything is frequencies and vibrations, and it really is. Like photons, the particles that compromise light are like pure energy that interact with matter. When you look at the sun, when you get warmth from the sun, or when the sun wakes you up because you look at the sun in the morning, you literally are awakened. You're heated up by energy, by pure energy in the photons. Okay, so tap into that again, like that continuous movement of energy. We learned so early that we are solid. We are something. This is you. This is how you function. This is your personality. This is who you are. But if you're changing continuously, if you are energy in motion, you can't be something constant. You are being something in every 10 seconds. You are energy in motion. You continuously shift and change. When we go, I am, or you are, we're trying to hold that energy and keep it solid, even though it continuously moves like everything else. The earth moves, and the earth moves in the universe, right? So we're moving. All that, like the whole nature is moving. All the parts of the earth is moving. The whole earth is moving, and the whole universe is moving. I don't remember now, but at some point in a very, very far future, our galaxy will collide with another galaxy because everything is energy and everything is moving. So if you look at just something a little more tangible, if you look at your body, so obviously I don't look like a baby anymore. So I've changed from when I was born, and so have you who are listening to this. But our bodies change all the time, and not just from how much we eat or how much we work out. If you're infatuated, you look different. If you just had sex, you look different. If you take a long walk in the forest and just allow yourself to immerse into nature, you look different. Your energy changes, your frequency changes. You affect other frequencies around you by this new frequency that your being, your body change with the energetic shifts and change. all the time. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody pass away. And a few years ago, my mother passed away, and I had the honor, the privilege to sit by her for the last, I think it was 6 or 7 hours that it took for her to pass away, like slower and slower and slower breath. And it was so apparent when she was still there. Even if the breath just came like an enormous long time apart, one more breath, and then total stillness, and then another breath. But as long as she was still in the body, as long as there was the slightest energy in the body, we knew it. We knew that she was still there. Once she passed away, once she took that last breath, once the energy of my mother left her body, it was obvious that there wasn't someone there anymore. The body looked more like plastic. It's my best description. There wasn't any energy animating it. It had stopped moving. So in that moment, my dad, me, and my brother who were sitting around, it was clear to all of us, even though neither of my brother or my dad does energy work, is so clear that what left was the energy of her. It's the energy that makes us alive. It's the energy that allows us to live and experience life here on Earth, to be part of that constant movement of everything shifting in the universe. Your energy is what interacts through your body with everything here. Okay, let's see if we can take some more examples. So take somebody that you have a close connection with, just for ease, like your partner, your parent, your kid, a friend, somebody like that. Do you know their mood, their energy before they even come in through the door? Or as soon as you get a text message? Or the instant you hear their voice on the phone? Do you have a sense of that? Do you know if they're angry? Do you know if they're happy? Do you know if they need you? Like all of that. Have you acknowledged that? That instant knowing of what is going on for them. You're reading their energy. You're basically reading their energy, whether you see them. It's easier if we see the body language because the body gives off so much of that vibrational frequency energy. So it's easier if we have the body there, but you can read people's energy without seeing them. You can read them just by the awareness. It's like a whisper of energy. It doesn't need to be tangible. You always know. And if you go into a room, look at how you read the energy in the room. What do you become aware of when you go in? Do you change your frequency or your vibration to contribute to change the energy? Or sometimes we choose to be completely ignorant of it and just stumble in like an elephant in a glass door. I don't know if you say that in English. But notice like the instant awareness of a energy in a room, an energy in a group. That's energy. That's you doing energy work. You are shifting, changing your frequency, your vibration to contribute, to alter, to change, or just to become compatible with the energy in that room, with that group of people. the more you play with this, the more you can choose, manipulate basically what you would like to create with your energy. The more aware you're willing to be of the energies that's shifting and changing in the world, the more you can use them to create the effect you would like to have in the world. So I learned this with my daughter at a quite early stage. She was acutely aware of me. I was a single mother living with her, and she read me like a book all the time. And she pointed this out to me one time where we were having fun, we were playing, doing something, and the phone rang. And I stepped out of the room, I took the phone call, and it was something that made me angry or upset, like something in that call that changed my energy. It changed my frequency. And then I come back into the room, and my daughter looked up at me and she said, "What happened?" And I had a choice in that moment. I was like, I could say, nothing, all good, and sit down and play again. Or I could say, oh, something on that call made me upset or angry, and then continue to play again. And I was looking, it's like the split-second choice you have. But I was looking at that and I was like, if I tell her everything is fine, what she will have to do is go, oh, I was wrong. Nothing changed. She will have to dismiss her awareness of the shift in energy. Instead of, if I say, oh, something on that phone call made me upset, will allow her to acknowledge, oh, I was correct. My reading of my mom's energy was correct, which would allow her to trust that in the future. So I did choose that. I did tell her, look, something made me upset. And then I sat down and played again. And for so many of us, what's happened throughout our life is that we've actually experienced the first version. No, it's nothing. Nothing happened. You're wrong. You're not reading the energy correctly. So this kind of dismissal, this invalidation of our energetic capacities is what starts that autonomy that I was functioning from when I came across this whole energetic world that I now so love to explore. Like that particular continuous dismissal or invalidation of the language of energy that most of us really function from, I would say all of us function from, created this where I had to create my own little autonomy where I could tell what was right, what was wrong, and where I would have to keep myself within the sphere that was comfortable for me. But what if you could just choose right now to uncreate and destroy? If you haven't heard the clearing statement, there will be a link somewhere in the replay or under this video where you can check it out. But what if you right now could uncreate and destroy all the times where you've been invalidated for the energetic knowing you had in a moment and you dismissed that as wrong and bad and avoided it ever since? Everything that is, can we uncreate and destroy it? Right, wrong, good and bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys, povats, bases, and beyonds. Right, wrong, good and bad, pop, pock, all nine shorts, boys. Oh, povats, bases, and beyonds. So let's take another example of how instantly we're aware of energies. So have you ever hugged somebody and just melted into their energy, allowing it to shift yours, relax, contribute? Or have you hugged somebody where you could just feel how they wanted to pull away? Or you just wanted to pull away because there was just too much going on there, too much agendas, too much what they wanted from you, too much what they needed from you. That's how instant that is. The hug is one of the kind of like approved energetic and touch interactions that we have in a lot of our societies. There are some, like, I know, for example, in India, people don't hug very much. I'm sure there are many other cultures where hugging isn't something you do all the time. And if you are in a culture where hugging is part of it, you do get an enormous energetic download every time you hug someone, both from your own reaction, from what you read from their energy, and also from what your energies together create. What frequency, what vibrational frequency are you on? And if you are on a similar one, there's this kind of melting into the simultaneity of gifting and receiving, which really is one of the things that energetically is possible all the time. So that was the hugs. Let's see if we have, oh, here's another example. So imagine that you're walking through a deep forest and it's this light summer rain. And just tap into that energy, like your shoes, some kind of a wet forest floor. And then you come out on a meadow full of flowers, and the sky just opens up, and the sunshine shines down on you with that warmth through kind of like humidity from the summer rain. And just take a moment and be in that energy. Now, from that energy, imagine instead that you walk down a really busy, loud, noisy city street. And notice what happens. Which one does it feel like you're energetically more open to? Which one relaxes you? Not everyone relaxes in a forest. I just have to point this out. It depends a lot on what your frequency, your vibration is. For some people, a very busy city street can be super relaxing because it gives them a sense of anonymity and constant influx of feedback from everything and input. And for some people, and for many people, I guess, that the nature in the forest could create this sense of space. But just notice the difference. That's all that matters. There's not a right way of reading energy. There's not a wrong way of reading it. There's not a better way. It's just whatever it is for you right now. Now, put a person there walking with you. Just a person walking through the forest with somebody who just walks with you, has no point of view, just walks through the forest side by side. Now, do the same thing, but the person beside you needs something from you. They want something from you. They want you to be something for them. Notice the energy shift again. You're so aware. You're aware all the time. You're aware of the energies, any interaction with anyone around you. And the more you're willing to become aware of it, the easier it will be to read it. It's there all the time. You already speak this language. Language of energy is yours. Now, in the Symphony of Possibilities, this modality where we basically tap into the energies of this moving universe, the moving earth, the movements of the molecules in your body, what we do is that we actually allow you to become more aware of what's going on for you at the same time as whoever facilitates the session becomes more aware of what's going on for them at the same time as everything moving in the whole universe can contribute, can be gifted, can be received, and can allow this, again, this continuously moving, shifting world, future, presence, past to change. So often we think that it's mainly the things that are close by. Like I talk about the universe and we just talked about a hug. Those are like seemingly very different distance to us. And we are aware of everything. The distance doesn't really matter. So let me just check so I'm not missing something. Okay. So we're aware of everything. The distance doesn't really matter. If you look at it, big bad events like September 11th, the attacks in Israel, the war in Gaza, Lebanon, the war in Ukraine, like all of those are examples of things that affects the energy worldwide. You're aware of all of that. And a lot of times we don't really know what to do with that awareness. We don't know, it seems heavy, contracted. So we try to shut it out. We try to avoid it. We try to avoid that particular energy and instead focus on what seems good, easy, comfortable to handle. And when we do that, we actually again create that autonomy that I talked about in the beginning, the autonomy of a well-defined area that uses a basis that doesn't allow everything in. It has some things are better, good, pre-approved, comfortable. Those are the things that are allowed to be in there. We create like a safe zone for ourselves. But in that safe zone, we only allow certain things in, which means that we shut out so much of what actually is going on around us. Because if you look at it, if you put barriers up, those barriers don't necessarily know what's good or what's bad. They don't know if that they're only supposed to let the good energies in, or they can only let the whatever you defined as good in, which means that you can never go beyond that. You have to stay within what you decided is comfortable, what you decided you are, which is what we talked about in the beginning, that really we're not solid. We be, we continuously change, we continuously transform. Our energy transform, our bodies transform, our interaction with the world transform, everything moves. So when you create an autonomy, a basis where you're solid and stagnant, you're actually shutting out all those energetic possibilities that are all around you, that you are aware of, but you're trying to avoid and shutting out. If you're willing to uncreate and destroy all the autonomy, all the basis of exclusion that you've created, you can invite something called oneness, where there is simultaneity of gifting and receiving all energies. Everything that doesn't allow that, and to whatever extent you're willing to do that right now, let's uncreate and destroy it. Right, wrong, good and bad, POC, POC, all nine shorts, boys, poets, spaces, and beyonds. And when you are aware of all energies, you don't have to fix it. You don't have to change it. You don't have to save the world. By allowing yourself to be aware, you become part of it. You become part of the oneness. By basically lowering your barriers, allowing that simultaneity of energies to shift and change and move. Your energy, your frequency, your vibration can contribute to the world. You become part of that oneness of the energetic network that the earth is and that the universe is. So let me see, do I have some time? Okay. I want to do two more things with you. One is to introduce a tool, and the second one is to do an energetic practice. So the first one, the tool, it's a classic access consciousness tool. It is an amazing tool that if you haven't heard about it, here you go. Here's the tool. And if you have heard about it, maybe, see if it's different for you today, because that also changed how we receive the tools. So this tool is light and heavy. And what's true for you is light. And what's alive for you is heavy. And what that means is that when something is true for you, it may not be true for anyone else, right? But when it's true for you, it has a lightness to it. It has more space to it. It may even have like a vibration of yes to it. We're all different. Like we're all, the way we perceive light and heavy, the way we perceive yes and no is different. So, but when it's true for you, there's some kind of expansion, vibration in your world. And when it's heavy, it's alive for you. And then it's heavier, contracted, less space, or something else for you. Like you have to play with it to find out what it is. But there is kind of like an internal system where our bodies and our beings give us these continuous clues of what's light for us, where we're heading. It that guides us forward with the energy. It's like an energetic map to where we really desire to go. And there's a great question you can ask when you don't know what to choose. You go, okay, so will this create what I desire? Will this create what I desire? And then go, yes, no. What's light? What's heavy? And one way to look at it that I learned quite recently is that when you're infatuated with somebody, all of your molecules open up. They like go, they open up for receiving everything. That's that amazing sense of infatuation that most of us have experienced at some point. Now, it's very similar to when something is light, when we get a yes on something, we basically become infatuated with it. And it's that sense of like your every molecule opens up and like pulls that to you. That's a yes. That's an energetic yes that goes through your whole body, your whole being. That's light for you. Go there. Head over there. Whatever's light, head over there. Go there. Follow that. Follow the lightness. Follow the infatuation of your every molecule. Okay, so that's your home play after this particular live. There probably will be more, but that's your home play to practice. Go for the things that make your molecules open up for receiving. Your map, your energetic map to your future. Okay, and then finally, let's do a practice, just an energetic practice of testing out what you know and that everything is really energy. So if you're willing to, close your eyes. Tap into something that's tweaking you, a little bit, or something that you're avoiding, something that you have a point of view about. Or it can be a person, an event, something going on in your life, a tax bill, whatever. And you have it. Just keep your eyes closed and just tap into that. Now let's make it infinite, bigger than the universe. I know that's a little strange, something that we're trying to avoid, something that's tweaking us. Why would we make it bigger? Infinite, but just go with it. Just keep expanding, give it more space. Receive it in totality. Allow it to be with you being infinite space. It's just an energy, whatever that is, that person, that event, the tax bill, whatever it is, it's still just energy. So make it infinite. Expand it even more and more and more, even more. Infinite. Infinite is bigger than the universe. Just even more. Expand it. And just tap into it. See if it has changed in any way energetically for you. Keep expanding it. Allow it to be infinite. More. Now ask, what is the gift in this? What is the gift in this? You don't need an answer. Just ask the question and then just fill that infinite energetic space with gratitude. I know that's contradictory again, right? But just try it. Whatever it is, make it infinite, bigger, bigger, bigger. What's the gift in this? And you haven't acknowledged yet. And now fill that whole space with gratitude. More. Gratitude is miraculous and can change nearly anything. What's the gift in this? And then just the energy of gratitude. It doesn't need a for something. You can just choose gratitude. Just allow it flood, whatever this is, flood that infiniteness of what it is now in gratitude. Let it flow around it, inside it. Allow the gratitude to make it even more infinite. Allow that energy of gratitude to just expand it even more. Here you go. Now, find a molecule in the midst of all of that, in the midst of everything. Find a molecule that if you turn that molecule, will allow this to move, to change, to transform in ease and joy and glory. Find that molecule. Don't think about it. Just find it. And now turn it 180 degrees. And then 180 degrees the other way. And again, 180 degrees. No force, no effort. Just to relax into turning it one last time. Relax into that space of infinite gratitude. Take a deep breath. Breath is energy too. And take one more breath all the way down from your toes, all the way up through your body. The energy of what gift this is that you haven't acknowledged yet. The energy of gratitude all through your body. Infiniteness of you. And now tap into whatever it was you thought about again. Is it different in any way? Has it transformed? Has it moved? Has it shifted in any way or form? And it's the energy moving. And energy doesn't have a past or present or future. It's timeless. It just can shift and change. So everywhere where you haven't been willing to know that you know energy, and that energy is your first language, would you be willing to uncreate and destroy all of that now and reclaim it for you to play with? Everything that doesn't allow that, let's uncreate and destroy it. Right or wrong, good and bad, puck, all nine shorts, boys, povats, bases, and beyonds. I think that's where we will end today. And we have 2 more lives coming up, one with Anthony Madditz and one with Dr. Dane here. And then if you're brave and courageous and would like to experience even more of this energy, we have a symphony group taster coming up with all the symphony advanced practitioners, which are all practitioners that play with these energies to shift and change and transform things for individual, for groups, and for the whole world. And they're all going to come together and do a symphony group taster online here. You'll find it on the website, globalsymphonyday.com. And if you're watching after, you can sign up to get it and receive it at home. Thank you so much for going on the journey. What else is possible? And where else can we, as energetic beings, go forward to?